Hey everyone, welcome back. So today's Thursday. Obviously the miners are down, but they're not down as much as they were at the beginning of the day. I mean, everything crashed like a rock in the water today. But they have bounced back up, which is a good sign. Bitcoin is still down. Markets are still kind of sketchy as far as which direction they want to go into. I did put in another buy order for Rivian at 80. That hadn't gone through yet. And another order for Bitfarms at 348. I believe. I put that in. That hasn't gone through either. So I'll see if those if those go through or not. But right now I'm basically shopping. It's a sale on these stocks. But I wanted to talk to you guys about obviously Riot. Riot provided their numbers for December yesterday, so we'll look at those. We'll look at the other miners as well today. Bitcoin, see how that's doing, and then we'll get into the numbers here. So as always, guys, this is for entertainment purposes only. Not financial advice. Do your own research. Don't fall for scams, and spam posts get reported and deleted. So here's the first one at bat. It's Argo. Argo is down right now 2.44% on the day right now. It has obviously come off of its lows here at around 109, and it has come back up a little bit. And we're looking at, on the chart here, we're looking at the 1 hour chart. If we look at Bitfarms, Bitfarms came obviously way down to 426. I wanted to get in at, I think I originally set the order for Bitfarms at like 430 or something like that, but it didn't go through. So I changed it up to, I think 438 or 448, but it hasn't gone through yet either. So I'm waiting to see if that actually pulls back down a little bit to get a little bit better price on it or not. But obviously you can see we've had a pullback and then obviously a nice little jump here in the last couple hours as the market has continued to go on. CleanSpark, same thing, is down 1.75% to 842. We saw that came way down to 790 in the first hour, and then it has kind of traded sideways for the past 4 hours or so in the day. And we'll see how that one continues to do. You saw the same thing happen here on DigiHost. DigiHost is down 6.48%, so it's at right now 389. It came down to about 366, and it is now trading at, I'm not showing any movement here on it. Why not? I don't know if it's had a halt or something. We'll have to take a look at that one, see why that one's not trading or what's going on with it. But right now it is at 389. DMG is at 57 cents, so it's up actually 0.01%. And it came down to 55 cents this morning in the first hour of trading roughly, and then has come back up after that a little bit and has been trading kind of flat as well. Hive did the same thing. We had a nice wick down to $22.28. It has since come back up to $2.41. So it's only down 1.16% on the day so far. And let's take a look at Hut 8. Hut 8 obviously also came way back down to 654. So great buying opportunity if you were able to buy in at that price. But it came down quick and it went back up quick, just as quickly. And right now we are at 695, so we're down 2.25% roughly. Iris Energy, same thing, came down to $12 in the first hour and then wicked back up. It's at $12.60 right now, so it's only down 3% on the day. Marathon is up actually 0.34% to $29.77. This one came way down to $27 and has obviously came back in the last couple of hours here, but it's trading sideways as well. So we'll see how that one continues doing, along as well as Mawson. Mawson is actually going down back to where it kind of went down all the way to 554, and it is at 557 right now. So it has still got some more selling pressure, it looks like, compared to the other miners. And then we got Riot here. Riot, we're going to do the numbers on them. They came down to 1960, and they are now at 2099, so they're only down 2.2% roughly on the day, and we've seen some obviously battling between the bears and the bulls on most of these mining stocks here. So let's take a look at Bitcoin, sorry. Bitcoin right now, this is on the daily chart. We can see, we drew this kind of line here, or I drew this line a couple of days ago, seeing that we had this pattern and we broke out of this pattern, but it looks like now we are still kind of, if you extend this line out, going out this way, it looks like we're still battling with that pattern here to see if we can stay above it or below it, but it looks like we're going to be falling below it. At least that's what it looks like to me right now. So my thinking is our next stop is probably going to be the 40,000 mark we are at right now. If I zoom out a little bit, we are at 43,369. My next support line is right around 40,500, 40,600 or so, but I think we may be coming back down to this as well, testing it. RSI is looking pretty low, but it's not as low as I would like to see it. I'd like to see below 30 to then have full, basically, capitulation in the price of Bitcoin, and I think we might be able to go back up from there. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Ethereum is also down below its 200-day moving average, which is never a good sign, and it is right now trying to muster the strength to get above it. It's at 3,452. RSI is low, but as you can see, RSI came down a little bit, but we had a huge decrease in price over the last couple of days, weeks as well. So that's where we're at. So let's take a look at the mining stock, or Riot. Actually, that's the information there. Here it is. Okay. So here's the news release from Riot from yesterday. So Riot produces 425 Bitcoins in December 2021 and 3,812 Bitcoins in 2021. Executes multiple miner purchase agreements and increases self-mining hash rate capacity to 12.8 exahash for 2022. So a nice, huge increase. They were at 9 something originally, so they're getting a nice increase to about another 3 exahash or so more, 3.8 exahash. So Riot is increasing its 22 estimated hash rate capacity by 3.8 exahash to 12.8 exahash, representing a 42% increase over the company's previous announced estimate of 9 exahash. And I was a little surprised by this because I've been paying attention to them, and I don't know how I missed it unless they just now provided this information that they're buying more miners. But I had them obviously at the 9 exahash with the less miners. So here's what we got from them: some pictures, some graph as far as exahash growth for future growth. So you're looking at August, November 22, December 22 here. So these all look like 22's future hash rate growth. So they're stating by Q4 2022, Riot anticipates a total self-mining hash rate capacity of 12.8 exahash, assuming full deployment of approximately 120,150 AMP miners, but excluding any potential expected incremental productivity gains from the company's utilization of the 200 megawatt of immersion cooling infrastructure. So those are the miners that are going to be immersion cooled. I think, what did they say, 48,000 or 46,000 of those miners are going to be. So basically, that's going to be a third of their miners are going to be in immersion cooling, which is a huge number. So that if we if they're going to be at 12 exahash, let's just run it up, let's just say 12 exahash. A third of that is going to be 4 exahash. If they can increase the power on that by 25%, you're looking at 1 extra exahash and potential gains if they do that. If it works out to 25%, it could be higher, it could be 30, it could be lower, it could be 20%. So something to keep in mind. Let me see here. So here's a release. In December 2021, Riot closed its previously announced strategic acquisition of ESS Metron, one of the world's leading designers and manufacturers of power distribution equipment. The acquisition of ESS Metron further deepens Riot's bench strength as a leading vertical integrated business by securing Riot's supply chain to critical infrastructure electrical components. So I'm all for this. This is, I think, good. This gives them a little bit of a leg up on some of the other miners. Let's see, what else do we have here? Production updates. Let me see. Here we go. I think where was the acquisition part of it? Okay, so let's do this here first. We'll do the mining acquisition. So mining purchase orders and an increase in estimated hash rate. So I was not aware of when they posted this in December. They said in December sometime. Riot executed additional purchase orders totaling 301 million with Bitmain Technologies Limited. Bitmain for an additional 27,000 of their latest miner models S19 XPs, the 140 terahash, with an anticipated delivery and deployment schedule set for July 2022 through December 2022. As a result of these purchases, the company anticipates having approximately 120,150 AMP miners in operation, utilizing approximately 370 megawatts of energy by Q4. So obviously, this is something new, so I think this is actually really good. Great miners here, really efficient miners too. So that should be a good increase in their hash rate, and plus in electricity savings as well. Also, because of these purchase orders, Riot is increasing its 22 estimated hash rate by 3.8 exahash to 12.8. So this is all good news here. So let's take a look at their numbers here. So in December, Riot produced 425 BTC, an increase of approximately 334% as compared to last year in December 2022, which is a great increase. In Q4 2021, Riot produced 1,355 BTC, increasing approximately 349, which is another great increase. So you can see that they're obviously growing nicely here. And in 2021, Riot produced 3,812 BTC, increasing approximately 269% as compared to 2020 production of 1,033. And then as of December 31st, Riot is hodling 4,889 BTC, all produced by the company's self-mining operations. And Riot currently has a deployed fleet of approximately 29,593 with a hash rate capacity of 3.1 exahash per second. So a lot of great news here, a lot of good things happening. Obviously, some of the concerns here are getting the miners in on time when they're supposed to come in. There's a lot of shipping delays as the economy is booming and everything is back-ordered or shipping delays with ports being delayed and everything being congested and not being able to get stuff out as they need to. Obviously, the pricing on the shipping is also increasing, so that's something we got to keep in mind as well. All right, so let's take a look at my numbers here for them. So based on my numbers, these are, before we get too far into the weeds here, these are the numbers that I have for them as far as these miners here are the ones that they reported as having the immersion cooling possibly. They said 46,000, this is what I got, 46,000 on those. So I'm guessing these might be the ones that get the immersion cooling, which would increase their hash rate obviously by another 20% to 25, maybe even 30%. So we'll do some math on that later on in another video when we start looking into their Q1 and Q2 numbers potential. What else do we have here? So these are the latest miners that I wasn't aware of until today that they are getting installed. So we got those in here. This is the additional 27,000 miners, the 140 terahash miners. That gets them up to, I have them at 120,140, so which is pretty close to what they're saying they're going to have. And we got them at 12.8 exahash on the total hash rate for future hash rate. Now, if we look at the numbers here, something that I'm not aware of as far as they haven't provided any information on it, but in the past quarters, they also had hosting revenue. I'm not sure if they're going to continue to have hosting or if that's going down or if that's going up. So I'm just using the same numbers that I had here back in for Q3. This could be up, this could be down, but this number down here is what I'm actually estimating what they are going to be possibly making for Q4 from just the ASIC mining of Bitcoin. And if we look at the numbers here, we got all of these miners here mining at 3 months, and then the latest installments that we've had here, we have these at 2.5 months, which are the 110 terahash, 1.25, and then basically half a month of the latest ones that they got in, the report of getting in. So that all matches up with what they are reporting of 3 right, they reported, am I correct on that? They reported 3 exahash and having 29,500, let's see here. What do they report here? 3.1 exahash. So they got 29,593. 29,593, I got them at 3.0. So there might be a little mishap here someplace as far as how many miners they have based on this. 3.1 exahash, unless they got some more of these. Now these might be here at the, even if I do that, I don't think I'd get them up to 1 exahash if we increase this. Let's see here. That gets us up to 3.04, so it gets us a little bit closer to where they are with the mining hash rate right now. Right currently has deployed fleet, yep, capacity of around 3.1 exahash, okay. So we're pretty close on that. We're off by about half a 0.5 exahash or so. Why would that be? Everything here is installed. What do we, let me see, we're doing that. We're not doing anything special here. So I just want to make sure I'm getting the right numbers here for them. 110, 179, yeah. Everything should be good here. So we're pretty close to what they are based on the numbers that we have available to us. Okay, we'll leave it as is. I'll look into it some more later on, but we're pretty close to what they have. So the hosting, I'm including hosting for the previous quarter. We'll see if that happens. They're obviously going to be at 76,545 for gross revenue total, possibly. One other thing has changed here on The institutional side, analysts have increased. So there was an added analyst that has basically given them a buy rating. Price targets have stayed the same at 82 for the high, 45 for the low, so the average is 53.63. And then institutions have stayed the same, 291, 333.4 million shares and 28.83% owned. We'll update that when that actually occurs. And then if we look at their Bitcoin production here for the month of December, so they had 425 in December, 466 in November. That represents a decrease of 41 Bitcoins or 8.8%, which is basically based on the fact that the overall hash rate of Bitcoin has been going up. So you're going to be mining less unless you actually get more miners installed to counter offset that. Or counterset that. I think that's how you say it. Okay, you guys know what I mean. So that's the reason for that. Let's see, what else do we have here on them? So based on the information that we have right now, they are at 3.04, so close to 3.1. Future hash rate of 1286, and operational right now. So they're 23% operational from their future hash rate, which is great. So they obviously have a lot of upside to go still. Hash rate per miner on average is 102 terahash, which is also really good. And obviously they've been down the last couple of weeks here. They hodl 4,889 Bitcoins, which gives them a hodl to market cap of 9.04%. And each share basically is $1.88 worth of Bitcoin in there. So if we look at the analysis here on price tag potential, they are currently at $20.75. I have them at 75% net income from gross revenue at $24.76 at a 20 price to earnings multiple, and that leads me to believe that they are undervalued right now, based on where I'm seeing things, where their numbers are. It's just they've been kind of fairly valued in the past, but right now they're undervalued based on where the price is. This is just my opinion. Obviously, do your own research as always. Don't go just by my numbers here, but based on what I'm seeing here, they are undervalued a lot. But along with all the other miners, except for I think Mara and Iris, I think are a little bit overvalued right now. But we'll take a look at those once those guys provide some more numbers as well. Other than that, so I mean, we're looking at $24.76 as the fair value price on it, and then obviously $35.86. The Bitcoin goes to $100,000, $46.56. So obviously nice upside potential there. And I think that is it. I mean, we've seen obviously the price go down here. Remember, this is opposite. This is from oldest to newest data that we have here. Also, Bitcoin price, I am using the one for the end of the quarter. So when Bitcoin finished out the quarter here, I'm using the 46,211. That's the price I'm using to calculate the numbers. I'm also using the hash average for the quarter here with the start, the end, and the high or low. We had a high of 181 million. And I'm using the average for that to get that calculation figured out. Going forward, I'm going to be using more detailed data going by month. I think that's going to provide even more accurate numbers. I want to get to within 2.5% to 1% being off on my estimates. I'm currently sometimes within 1-2%, sometimes I'm within 5%, but I want to get that more consistent to be under 2.5% for the miners here. So that's part of my work in progress. Other than that, that is it. That's all I got for you guys. We did Mara, I think, yesterday or the day before. So Riot is done. CleanSpark also has provided their numbers. That video will be out later on tomorrow. I'll get that out sometime during the day when I have time. And then we'll see how the market does today. We'll look at Bitcoin, how it finished out the week, for the day today, at the end of the day. So I'll probably post another video on that, see if anything else happens interesting in there. So as always, if you guys like this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Helps me out tremendously. That's all I ask of you guys. Hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys are buying the dips if you can. Obviously, not financial advice. Do your own research. But I think this is a good time to be greedy when others are fearful, right? And be fearful when others are greedy. It's also timing the market, not timing the market. So those are kind of things I like to live by here. So see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.